Welcome back, my friends. Hope you are doing well. We're back with Cephalopocalypse, the Cultist of Entropy, and Tales of Maj'Eyal. One thing I've been forgetting to do before we get into the next Tier 1 dungeon is I actually totally forgot that we have access to another set of shops, so we are going to just hop into this town, find a place where nobody can see us, because we can't use this ability when someone can see us, and then head over to Kroshkur to do some shopping here. Because you only get this shop if you are these shops if you are a demented class. I have been totally forgetting that we have access to them, so let me just check and see if there's anything here that we want. Unique gloves, but they're pretty bad for us. They're made for wild classes, not for mage classes. I don't know the layout of this town very well, so bear with me. We're just running around. Here we've got a 16 cooldown Shatter Afflictions. Not amazing. I don't think we want any of these. Let me out. Here we go. That portal to the maggot we already did. You can give me a staff. I don't believe there's anything that we want from any of these staves currently. Ooh. Excuse me. A Mind Star and a bow, but ranged weapons we don't use. And over here we've got some lore. Don't need that. Any other shops up here? Nope. Alright. So definitely worth checking. But we didn't find anything. Alright, let's hop on into the next Tier 1 dungeon. We're going to be doing the Heart of the Gloom. So the gimmick here, never believe this pop up. The gimmick here for this dungeon is that all the enemies have teleport abilities, and they also have... Oh, here's our very first rare. They also have extra cursed abilities, so they can add shadow to the world and curse you. Okay, so there's two rares just around the corner. I'm going to see if I can step to here. No, they both saw me. So I thought there was an additional wall tile there, and I could maybe avoid having them see me. That being said, we're going to put down our monolith and get right on into fighting these guys. Okay, so we've got one stack on each of them. 3. Up to 5. And let's put down the black hole, summon our herald, and that should clean out these rares very nicely. I'm going to step back here and then rest. Oh, alright. So, this is what happens in this level is random enemies can teleport in directly next to you. So we've had this summoner type enemy, is a Mind Slayer and a summoner, teleport next to us and summon a Warhound. So I am going to blink out... Oh no, I can't blink that way because I can't see the tile. So we're going to start by blocking off the bear from us. And then I'm going to pop my regeneration because we are taking a bunch of damage. Here I'm going to have to blink to the other side. But unfortunately there is another enemy over there, so we will shatter that confusion. And then this is luckily just a mouse, so that was a bit sloppy by me, but we should be okay. I'm going to play that and then pop this. We have a hallucination blocking us, and this guy is up to only 0 Nile. So, going to need to start stacking that if we can. It's resisting all the Nile stacks, it looks like. Which is definitely bad. If we can't summon our Herald of Oblivion, then we're going to be in trouble. Got this guy up to still 0, so we're going to have to kill him the hard way. Have the bear coming up from the bottom there, but we're just going to try to keep this enemy held in place. Enemy does seem to have teleported somewhere else, so let's clear out the summons and the bear, and then we can find out where it went with our wand. So got that. Let's pop the wand. Actually looks like it teleported to a completely different part of the level. Or, no, wait, maybe it just died? I should have been checking the log there. Alright. Yes, it just died. You can tell because it dropped a bunch of items. Alright. So yeah, so let's step back here and rest. An enemy could teleport in while we're resting, but we're gonna walk over to here and pop this so we can see that there is just a normal wolf around the corner. That's fine. We can just take that guy down. Step 2 just around the corner and then use clairvoyance. Looks like this doesn't go anywhere. Normal bear coming at us from the other side of the map. Step back here and rest. Enemies off in the distance. I'm going to pop clairvoyance again, so it looks like we've just got some more normal enemies around the corner, but it does include, oh, there's a wall there. It does include this honey tree, so we're just going to rest, step forward. There's a rare enemy. This wolf we can definitely take on just by stacking Nile on him. Up to 2 there. So I'm going to use my other pair of prophecies to go to 4. And then we'll do this for 5, and 1 other spell for 6. Leveled up to 19, that's great. We know there's a honey tree just around the corner here, so I'm just going to use Dark Whispers to finish it off. Alright, here's a bear coming around the corner, presumably summoned by the tree. Alright, and that should be dead. Do a little resting, and then keep on moving. So I'm going to pop my track. These large open spaces are dangerous, in part because track doesn't, this range 10 track doesn't help, because we can see 10 tiles, and so can most enemies. So if we just step into range of an enemy at 10 tiles away, it's going to see us immediately as soon as we see it, so the track doesn't give us an advantage there. Against this guy, though, this is a immobile enemy, so we're just going to step out of its range and spam it. Spam it down. We can check if we are still hitting it based on whether we're gaining insanity up here, because you only gain insanity in combat. And these enemies, like I said, can teleport, so even though it's an immobile base enemy type, it can teleport away from us, potentially. Notice that Cacophony won't work because it's only radius 10. So we're going to be here for a second. You can do this on any character that has weapons of range longer than 10. Going to pass a bunch of turns and then Dark Whispers it again. And it says we can only gain insanity in combat, so I believe we have defeated the enemy. Let's step down and make sure. Yep, and they're gone. Oh, no. Alright, game lied to me. But it had almost died, so there we go. Alright, we got the Spider Silk Robe of Spydry. Let's take a look at that. Maj'Eyal. I actually don't remember what that item does. So, it's a tier 3 robe. We currently have a tier 1. So we would gain quite a bit of all resistance. We gain plus 4% all resistance. Damage when hit, armor hardiness. That's really nice for us, especially before we get any form of having that on our own. Plus 10 mind power and spell save. So it doesn't give us any spell save or spell power or spell crit or anything along those lines. So we would lose out on 15% movement speed and 5 spell power in exchange for quite a bit more all resist and a bunch of armor and armor hardiness. I think that's worth switching out, as well as not being able to trigger the proc effect off of the Silk Current. Alright, we noticed something in one of the pockets. I don't think I've ever put on this robe before, so what did we find? Alright, we found some lore. Sweet. Love that. All right. We also found Pus Immortal, the lamp, but it doesn't give us max HP, so we're not going to put it on. And let's keep on going. I'm going to use my clairvoyance so we can see there's a mouse down that way. Rest and use my wand again. So make sure there's nothing waiting for us around this corner. Pick up all these items. And then we know there's a rare mouse down here, but mouse is such a weak base enemy type, I'm just not worried about the rare mouse existing. That said, there is also a stone golem down here, which means something has summoned that. And it was the summoner, the deformed wolf. One thing that's worth knowing, of course, is what enemy types can only show up when they're summoned, and the stone golem is one of those. With some very rare exceptions, based on what zone you're in. Alright, we've got another fly trap around the corner, but this one we can just get when it can't see us. Just doing a nice classic spam fest. Pop my clairvoyance wand just to see how much health it has left. Alright, and it is dead. Okay, over here, let's use... I stepped around the corner and then stepped back and used clairvoyance as though that's going to help. What you want to do is stop like one tile before you would reveal the next area, and then you can use your wand, and then we can see there's two rares down here. We've got a marauder, so a melee enemy, and a summoner. Let's see if we can trigger just one of them to come after us. Oh, there we go. I'm going to wait actually on casting Cacophony just because I want to be able to see the enemy before I cast Cacophony. Actually, it doesn't know where we are, so it's going the wrong way. Alright, this hallucination has aggroed the other guy, but that's alright. Now we no longer have our clairvoyance up, but here comes the wolf, so let's block him off with this void monolith, and then we should start seeing the other enemy come around the corner momentarily, since we've now aggroed it. Pop my clairvoyance wand to just see where it is. Yep, right there. It's continuing to run away from me, so we'll just use Cacophony to clear it. 100 health left, so it should die pretty soon. Do some resting, and then keep on keeping on. Use my clairvoyance wand. Okay, looks like there's one more path we haven't explored, so let's head up to here, pop the wand, and we'll step just around the corner. No longer have the clairvoyance effect, but all the enemies are gone. Just gonna hit auto explore just to get to the end zone, and let's level up. Almost have maxed our magic completely. And then here in generic points, I'm going to continue to take thick skin as it's available. Then we'll finish maxing out these two. And then for my class points, I think there's some interesting options here. We could take split, because now that we have 4 points of Nile, we do want some of these other options as soon as we can get them, and split gives us another option for fighting bosses, because we get a clone of them. We could also start leveling some of our other important skills, like we could max Dark Whisper, max Cacophony, max Erase. All of those are really good. Second point in Suspend is also a really good value point. Here I'm just going to get Split, though. I think that will... It's often good just to get an additional option for fighting bosses going. We'll just plop that there for now. And then I'm also going to take a quick look at my items. We've got a Confusion Immunity Amulet, but we've... oh no, we don't have an Amulet for Confusion Immunity, so We'll hang on to that for now. Now have 60% confusion immunity available. Let me take a look at these other items. Linen Robe of Power, going to be worse than our current robe, of course. Plus magic on this hat. Blindness, silence, and confusion immunity all on this helmet. Kind of interesting. 20%, 10, and 10. If only that was a higher silence immunity. So we would lose minus 40%, or only die at minus 40 life for that, but that's basically all that our current hat gives us. And then this also gives us not a lot, but the minor immunities I think are actually pretty nice to have. So I'm going to pick that up for now and make that switch. Obviously, you really want to get to 100% immunity. That's a plus 43 health, same light radius, a little bit of darkness damage. I don't think it's worth looking too closely at that one. All right, all these other items I think are pretty bad. We can teleport to an enemy, but we're rarely going to want to do that. And let me change level to level 2. This is a melee ability. All right, so here we've got a rare and a boss. This boss is a summoner, so even if we get out of its range, we won't necessarily be able to escape it. So let's block it off so it can't shoot me right away. And then I can't hit both enemies. Here's another rare. So this is a very dangerous fight. We are going to have to be ready to just back off up the stairs. Currently, everything is going after the Void Monolith. Nile stacks are going... Actually, 3 stacks already on that guy, which is kind of nice. There's a chance that we just get that. Even though there's so many enemies around, it's very unlikely that all the stacks bounce to him. Oh, okay, well, up to 5. So now there's a pretty solid chance that we actually summon. And we did summon. We got pretty lucky there to summon. Let me pop my regeneration, because I took a bunch of damage. And then we've got this deformed wolf after me. Try to kill that. Here comes another rare. So now it's important to keep in mind that I cannot go back up the stairs because I just killed an enemy. And I don't really want to have to retreat back this way if I can help it, because... Let me also cleanse this poison. But I don't want to have to retreat back this way because we haven't explored this direction at all. There could be all kinds of nastiness waiting for us over there. Let me put Madness and Treason on this rare, try to get rid of him. This summoner is almost dead currently, although these Psyshot bullets, the mine drones, are going to be doing a lot of damage to us. I am going to attempt to teleport this guy away. Ideally, I guess all of these into the explosion if we can. Yep, teleported him backwards. Let's try to finish off this boss here. Our Herald of Oblivion seems to have run off somewhere weird or died. Actually, no, it died. That almost never happens, but being surrounded by 20 rares is going to do that for you. We did kill the boss there, so definitely feeling a little better, and we do have enough enemies in the area. We're spawning a lot of visions. So this is kind of a cool fight, but should be close to done here. Intimidated, Agony, and another pretty sizable poison, so I'll pop this. I'm going to use this reverse entropy to get rid of my... get rid of the damage on me. I'm going to use Essence Reeve on this guy to get back a Void Star, because we'd like to have more Void Stars if possible. And that also makes sure that we have... currently have no Chaos Orbs, so we can't teleport with this. That's just good to keep in mind, but we do still have our Blink. Let me hit the 2 closer guys with this Dark Whispers. And then hit them, all 3 of them, with the beam from our staff. Oh no, I need to unequip this. No, I've still got that staff equipped. I changed robes, not staffs. It's very important that you don't leave these equipped and then cast them, because you'll spend a turn putting on that item if your item isn't equipped. So this is one reason that you do this level later on, because it can be very dangerous. Let me pop Clairvoyance, just make sure nothing else is coming after me, and pop Regen. Then we can go collect all these items. It can be very dangerous when you change zone levels, because if you spawn in one of these big open areas, there can be like 4 or 5 enemies waiting for you. And because these levels are very small, all the enemies are stacked up together. So that's why the Heart of the Gloom is one of the more dangerous Tier 1 dungeons. Alright, let me just hide here and rest, and then we'll pop Clairvoyance and go around this way. There's another rare, so I'm going to block it off with the Monolith. And there's a unique bear as well. Another Summoner and a Berserker. And then this one is an Oozemancer. So we've got this Ooze shot coming at me. I could spend a turn dodging it, but I think it's more important that I start counting up my Nile stacks. So we've got this guy to 3. Let's get him to 5. Only at 4, so 1 got resisted. But I can double cast 2 spells again, and hopefully that hits him to 5. Nope, that was still only 4. So, again. Alright, looks like, yeah, something hit it for a big pile of damage. That's the Herald of Oblivion, which was summoned just outside of our vision radius. I'm going to use this on this guy to make sure that he's being pulled back in and can't get to us. The Minotaur next to me is definitely a problem, so I'm going to try to teleport the Minotaur to the other side of the Herald of Oblivion, pop my regeneration while the Herald starts finishing stuff off. This also made an Entropic Maw because I had 5 stacks. Should definitely be trying to kill this guy and not worrying about the Stone Golem, which is just a tank, basically. It's at 110 health remaining. So that should be good enough. Alright. And then we'll finish off its last summon. Cool boss fight. See if there's any more enemies. None over this way. Notice that I have ceased auto-exploring now that we're in some of the harder zones. I was mostly doing that out of laziness. So we've got... And it's definitely good to stop. Oh, well, I didn't expect my guy to charge all the way around there. That's one reason you should maybe just use movement keys rather than clicking. Have another rare up there. So we're gonna... These are funny paths in this zone. In this version of the zone. Alright, we've got this rare summoner. Currently at 3. And up to 5. And big explosion, and he's dead. Oh wow, I'm taking a lot of damage from the poison and from my entropy. These clouds also do damage and pin you, so just keep that in mind. The clouds of dark particle effects. We know there was an enemy over this way. Or a couple, but I think they weren't rares. We know there's one more rare over to the right here at the minimum. So let's step to here and pop this wand. Alright. This guy managed to kind of take me by surprise a little bit, but should still be good. Got him. Pop this again. Not sure where that other one went. Unless that was the treant that we just faced and it went all the way around the north. Nope, here it is. I'm not too worried about these guys because there's rares. They're just rares. So while they are still dangerous and you shouldn't take them super lightly, I'm not going to be panicking when I see them. This guy's going to die even before the summon goes off. Almost, anyways. We can't see because of the gloom shadow darkness, so I'm going to just step around the corner here. Use my wand. Alright, we've cleared everything out. Let's make sure we have picked up all the items and heading back to the next level. So, what items did we get? Bad regeneration rune, bunch of mind stars, which we don't use. This belt could be kind of interesting. It is disease and cut immunity, which isn't that important, but healing mod and negative life. We currently have a pretty bad belt. So we would have worse. We'd have worse life regen, worse healing mod, and lose out on some very minor resistances. In exchange for that, we get some spell save, reduced damage from summoned, and negative life. Yeah, I'll swap this out. Let's start also clearing out these items that we're not using. Acid Wave Rune I'll still hang on to, and then this one we're not using currently. None of these armors are good. That's an anti-magic lantern, so we can't use that. Gosra, the Charge Lord. Yeah, not particularly good for us. Alright. Let's hop down to the next level. So, Heart of the Gloom 3 is where the boss can spawn. We've got Lysakura, the sick giant Venus flytrap, summoner and side-shot enemy, which is the same as the other two boss flytraps we've faced so far, which is kind of funny. So let's pop that. We've got 1 stack of Nile on it, 2 from Dark Whispers, 4 from, or 0, 1, now we're up to 3, then we're going to go up to 5. And finally, I'll give it my Tropic Warding and should pop this. Yep, although our Herald is stuck on the other side of this hallucination, which is kind of annoying. So we're not going to get damage from the Herald on this guy. Or it maybe went off to fight something else. Hallucination disappeared, so I think the Herald is now hitting it. Let's Essence Reeve just for some damage. Let's see, it currently has 5 stacks of Jinx. It's pinned to the ground and off balanced. It's got the prophecies still on it, so we're just gonna be DPSing it. Alright, and it is dead. Pop my Clairvoyance Wand. Go pick this stuff up. See a mouse down there. Couple enemies around the corner here. We've got yet another Psy Shot. Let's block it off. We got blinded here and haven't been pinned, so I'm actually just going to back out with my Blink Rune here. Because we can't see through this darkness, so it's just kind of annoying to fight through. And then we can just back out, wait for it to despawn. See if the enemy is coming to us. Currently it is, as is this gloomy cave bear boss, which is a summoner brawler. And then this is a rogue, so actually a lot more rares have shown up here. One thing to keep in mind when we're killing stuff around corners is that we can only apply Nile to enemies that we can see. So you should try to avoid using your double stack spells when they're around the corner. I think this guy might die before it triggers the Herald summon. Nope. Alright. Just in time. Triggered the Herald, hit the boss. Then we get to put Dark Whispers on the boss as well. I think there's nothing else that we really want to do here, so I'll take a turn to honestly just pass. Wait for the Herald to hit stuff and continue to use Dark Whispers just to see if the Cave Bear is still alive. Then I'll pop my Clairvoyance. Cave Bear is still alive just around the corner here. Put that there. Now it is back in vision, so we'll do this. It's currently got Rotting Disease pinned to the ground, Dark Whispers, 1 stack of Nile, Although my Herald is probably on cooldown, so it's resisting the Nile stacks, but that's not the end of the world here. And then we're going to hit it with a couple prophecies. It currently does have Dark Whispers, so Cacophony will be good. And it is dead. Step up to 1 tile before I would reveal new tiles and use Clairvoyance. It's a good habit to get into. This enemy may or may not get popped by the hallucination aggro. Currently it's just hanging out around the corner, but it's just a rare, so I'm not that worried even if we do aggro it. And then I'll have built up a bunch of insanity for the fight if it does show up. Here's the Withering thing. This is the boss of this zone. So this is a doomed, but it also has a bunch of blink strike effects, so it can get to you very quickly. I'd like to fight it not with this rare in the picture, but we may or may not get that option. All these shadows teleport to me, because the Withering thing is summoning the shadows and also summons this darkness that we can't see through. So I'm actually going to back around the corner and let it come to me. Just wait for the shadows to despawn. Spend 1 turn, see if it's actually coming. It's not, but the Treant should be, because I just aggroed that with this Dark Whispers. And that will at least mean that we don't have to fight both rares at once, or the rare and the boss both at once. Taking a little damage from it, but I'm not too worried about that. We'll just let that happen. Pop my regen here before resting, just in case the Withering thing decides to pop back around the corner. Alright, we've got another bear, so again, just going to try to aggro these rares and take them out before fighting the boss. Can leave that explosion effect on the ground, pass the turn, see if it comes back. Come on, buddy. You know you want to fight. Whoops. Stepped 1 tile too far up. Definitely a mistake there, but at least that will let me fight this guy quickly. It's got some nice negative health on it. And we hit level 20, which is pretty exciting. So let me level up, actually, before fighting the boss of this zone, because that gets us access to another whole category of skills. So we're going to level up, obviously taking our magic and constitution as we do, and we get a category point. And we have a choice here between survival, rift, chronophage, and another inscription. Here I'm going to go with rift. This is going to help increase our damage a lot. So basically how rift works is as you cast spells, you have a 30% chance of summoning a void rift near you. It fires beams at enemies, and these beams do minor damage but go through walls, and you can get improved rifts later on. So it really increases your damage significantly, which is what our character is mostly lacking right now. So we're going to pick that, and we're going to take Quantum Tunneling, which lets us teleport to any rift that's on the ground. That is a hugely powerful defensive tool because we can teleport to a rift, and you've seen how good teleports are, as well as giving us a big shield. And obviously a shield is really nice survivability. And then we will take 1 point here in Pierce the Veil, which just gives us a 15% chance to improve our rifts as well. Then I'm going to level these, level Reality Fracture at least 1 point, but probably a couple points, so they last 3 turns. Actually, in fact, before I get Pierce the Veil, I'm going to level Reality Fracture because it goes from duration 1 for the rifts to duration 3. Huge increase and very helpful for your escape skill as well. And then over here, I am going to just continue to increase Luck Drinker and Preordain. So we've now maxed out Luck Drinker. Next, we're maxing out Preordain. So that's great. It's also mostly passive, although the Reality Fracture active lets us we can pop 3 rifts into play all at once. rather than having to wait for them to build up over time, which is definitely a useful ability, which we will hang on to. Let's keep that in our rotation. I'm going to just get rid of that helmet ability, and then quantum tunneling is an escape skill, so it goes down here for me. Or actually, I've been doing escape skills over here. Well, whatever. Somewhere down here. You can see this is a very scientific skill organization system. Alright, so there is a gloomy polar bear over there. So here's our very first rift. It's going to shoot at this. So it's firing bolts at the honey tree itself. Just increases our damage a little bit. Up here we've got a grizzly bear and the withering thing. Let's see if I can get to the point where I can hit it. No, so this isn't a path. So we'll step up to here. Then this direction is where the boss is. %30 chance, as you can see, summons quite a lot of rifts pretty quickly. Boss should be around the corner here, so I'm going to try to aggro it with Dark Whispers. Here's just a fox. Alright, and here comes the withering thing. So it's got Dark Whispers on it, so I will begin with Cacophony, and then I'm going to try to distract it with a Void Monolith, and then our very standard skill rotation. It's up to 2 stacks of Nile. It, of course, tanks these Nile stacks on its shadows. Currently not taking damage, so I don't need to worry about any kind of regeneration yet, and the withering thing has been slain. Alright, we've got some gloves and a really good pickaxe. The pickaxe is good mostly because it digs in 12 turns instead of digging in 19 turns. So we can get rid of this one and tag this as dig, and then we don't need to worry about having a better pickaxe for the rest of the game. And I'm just going to do a little auto-exploring because we've already killed a couple bosses in this zone. How many more of them can there be? Don't think like that, but I'm, as I have mentioned in the past, a little bit lazy sometimes. And I'd like to get through these 2 Tier 1 dungeons in a reasonable amount of time for this episode. Alright, one more rare to go. It's an archer, or a temporal warden, I guess. It's got the thought form and fires arrows at us. Or no, not a temporal warden, a solipsist, because it's got the thought form archer. Our rifts also will attack these things without us being able to see it or around corners, so that's always really nice. We are pinned to the ground, but we can still blink. No, we can't blink because we can't see. But that's alright. I'm just going to continue to fire at the tile I know it's in. Alright, nothing there, so I'll pass the turn, see if the enemy is dead when the dust clears. Alright, and that is it. Let's go back to the surface. That's a pretty nice shielding rune. 329 for 4 turns. So let's hang on to that. I'll take a look at whether we want that in a minute. Some robes. And a bunch of garbage. 20% confusion immunity on the lantern, though. And then even better maximum life lantern than what we've got, so perfect. This gives us max life and negative life, so can definitely keep us alive pretty well. And then these gloves are not great. They're probably not even better. I guess our gloves are pretty bad, but I think these gloves are still worse just because the 7 armor is actually still useful to us. Alright. Feel a tremor in the ground for a few seconds and it disappears, so that's a world event that can spawn when you hit level 20. And then we are heading back down to the next Tier 1 dungeon. Here's the very last Tier 1 dungeon, the Rhaloren Camp, and let's just get right into it. I could go for a shopping trip. Shops have refreshed because we're level 20, but I think I'll save that until after the Tier 1 dungeons. Let me actually just pop Clairvoyance right now. Okay, so there's a snake over here. This dungeon, there are two factions, so they're fighting. The elves and the monsters are all fighting. So this rare is going to kill this elven guard, for example. We do need to start generating some insanity. So I'm going to start with this monolith. The rattlesnake has come up here. So let's get it with cacophony and get it with our prophecies. And it has exploded, which does mean no summon for us. Can't hit that mold off screen there. Then we've got a white worm mass over here that we're going to have to fight at some point, and we know there's another mold down there, so I'm going to just pass the turn a few times and pop Clairvoyance again. Try to get it so that we can get damage on this guy, which we can. Now it's in view, so I'll block it off with the monolith and hit it with cacophony. Here comes a lesser vampire as well. Interesting that the monsters seem to mostly be winning. And this is an Anorithil enemy, which makes fields of damaging light, and it's actually quite dangerous. It's interesting the monsters seem to be winning. The elves have really good base chassis and usually win. So the Anorithil is hitting me with these high damage beams. I'm going to pop this Shadow Rune both to get rid of the effects, but also just for a shield. And then we'll hit Reverse Entropy. And then I'm actually going to cast Split on this guy, make a second copy. That'll reduce his damage and give us a little bit of extra damage against him. Prophecy of Treason. So it's up to 5 Nile stacks, and then let me gain back a Void Star as well. Still only at 5, come on. There we go. Summon the Herald. The vampire, of course, can go to negative health, so it won't die right away, but the Herald does enough damage that we killed it. And let's just pop around the corner here and rest. Use my Clairvoyance wand real quick. I'm not sure if I actually finished this thought because the vampire took me by surprise, but I was going to say it's pretty interesting that the monsters are winning because the elven faction has better base chassis. So usually you're going to face more elves in this zone than you will monsters. Got another brown mold over here, but that guy's immobile, so we can kill him around the corner. My insanity is actually kind of low right now, so one reason that Void Monolith is so good is that it increases your insanity by 20, so it's a very good opener just to generate resources for the fight. Oh, that guy teleported next to me. But it's just a normal, so it should be relatively easy to defeat. Step 1 tile before the corner and use this, so we've got a bear and just a couple normal elves. Bear we should be able to just fight like so. Got it up to 5 there. Another thing that makes Clairvoyance Wand's really good is it counts as being able to see him even though he's out of our light radius, so we can still apply Nile even though our light radius is too low to normally do that. I'm going to get rid of that burn and pop Regeneration just for safety, and then we'll summon the Herald to finish it off. Go again just to here. Nothing new. Yep, still nothing that we didn't know about, so we'll just open this door and fight all these guys at once, because I'm brave like that. Should see this Elven Mage over here as well. And it's dead, and here's a rare Elven Warrior. This is a Demonologist, which is a mostly melee enemy with a couple dangerous skills, but hopefully we can get him with a Herald Summon. Already up to 2. Let's block it off with this Void Monolith, going up to... nope, still at 2. Hit it with 2 more Prophecies to go to 4. Pulled me to him, but I'm going to use my Quantum Tunneling to escape. Because... oh, no, don't have a rift on the ground right now. Wait, is this a rift? Yes, that was a rift. And that could stack Nile because that's a Demented spell, but I think I moved just outside of his sight range, so it didn't end up stacking. Let's pick this up, and then he's still at 5 Nile, which is interesting. Never hit... oh, okay. Well, we had the Herald. I guess I restacked it up to 5. I should be keeping a better eye up here where it shows your current party. Got an Elven Tempest over here. Just a bunch of normal enemies over here. Still pretty dangerous just because the Tempest is a lightning mage who can daze you and also just does a ton of damage. Glimmerstone. Couple guards. But nothing else dangerous. Clairvoyance again. Alright, we've got another rare down there. Wraith form on this Doombringer rare, so if it gets next to us, that could be pretty frightening, but I'm gonna just block him off with a Void Monolith. Start sacking Nile. Big explosion, looks very pretty, but didn't do much damage because this guy doesn't have a lot of spell power. Did the Dark Whispers not hit him? Yeah, Dark Whispers missed him. Oh, because I can't. He's in the wall right now. So I can't target this guy because I can't see him and he's in the wall, so I can't target that tile. So we do waste the Void Monolith a little bit. Gonna blink backwards here. I don't have a good line to blink backwards. So let's use Accelerate and just step backwards. Just to make some spacing. Then hit him with the Prophecies up to 5, up to 4. And then we should get 5 and 6 from this. Having Twofold Curse means that you have 3 abilities that apply to Nile stacks, so that's why Twofold Curse is pretty good. I might want a second point, actually, in Twofold Curse, because it makes the Prophecy you apply a higher level. And since we're doing Prophecy of Treason with it, which is actually quite good to have on enemies, having it at a higher level is not bad. Right, just a bunch of random guys down there. They'll be able to see me when I turn the corner, but that's okay, because they're just all normals. Got a nice vault here, which I will do, because I'm no coward. There should be an enemy in this tile. I can't currently see him, but I'm going to put the Void Monolith here. Oh, it teleported to me. I should have put it one closer to me. Does have the Nile stack, though. Let me blink backwards away from this guy and hit him with the Dark Whispers. I think it's currently fighting my Monolith, but the Monolith despawned. Now it's fighting a hallucination. These enemies are dangerous in the vaults, so it's worth keeping that in mind. Let's block this one in, because they're much higher level than the zone level. That said, the things that are really dangerous to us in this spot are mostly rares, because we are now significantly higher level ourselves than the zone level. But pays to be a little bit careful here. Alright. Blurring Rough Leather Belt of the Mystic. That's actually might be pretty good for us. We've got some blindness, poison, and knockback immunity, decreases incoming crit damage. Probably not worth it for us. 5 cunning and 5 will is kind of fun. This one is mind power and light radius on the belt, and defense and magic. Still worse than our current belt, which gives us negative health. Another healing totem. Not terribly useful. This one fires a bolt, so also not terribly useful. Alright, no item upgrades here, but that's alright. Let's change levels. I should be remembering to pop Clairvoyance before I change levels. Bad habit to not do that. Yeah, we can pull this rare in around the corner. I don't mind that. Oh, currently it's confused and not coming around the corner, but now it knows where I am. Nile stacks up to 4. And we'll summon the Herald, and then we can let the Herald clear that guy out for us. We know there's an enemy down here somewhere. These netherworm masses. Another rare over this way. But it's through a door. Waiting around the corner to ambush me. I see how it is. And he turned into a Shivgroth form because it's an Archmage rare. So this means it will do a bunch of extra cold damage with every action. And can't be stunned, which we don't do, so that's not terrible, although it also can't be dazed by our Void Monolith. I'm going to pop my regeneration here. It's only at 1 stack of Nile, so we're probably not going to be able to get a summon out of it. But we'll do our best. Oh, actually, if it heals that much, we'll probably get a summon out of it, which is why stacking Nile can be pretty important anyways. And there we go. Didn't really need the summon in the end, but definitely worth grabbing. Let's pop Clairvoyance. Alright, looks like there's nothing in this room. There's a mage down here. But we should be able to just blast that guy. Clairvoyance. Whole bunch of nothing. Oh, whoops. I forgot my Clairvoyance was out and walked straight into this boss. That was a very bad move. So let's take a look at this guy. He's an alchemist and saw butcher with the Elvengard chassis. Elvengard gives him a bunch of runes, so he can probably blink to us, probably regenerate, might have a big shield. Let's blink backwards into the darkness and break line of sight with him. We've got this golem here, so I'm going to put up this Void Monolith. Now we've got line of sight on him. He doesn't have Dark Whispers, but we'll do the Prophecies. And he's resisting our Nile. So one thing that we definitely need to do is increase our spell power so that enemies resist this less. Dark Whispers. And we should be able to get him up to 3 Nile here. That's 3. And then this should be 4 and 5. Yep. And then we should be able to summon. Currently have the enemy quite surrounded by stuff, so I wasn't too worried there. Let me pop Reality Fracture, actually, because we don't have enough rifts right now. Those will increase our damage a lot. Then I am going to hit my regeneration. Enemy is moving towards me, even despite this Herald of Oblivion, so I'm going to cast Split on him. The Split summon should go here or here. If it goes in this tile, we're golden. If not, then at least it has a chance of distracting it, and this guy actually punted me away from him. Poor move, enemy. I'm not worried about the 11 damage fire effect that we have right now, although we still have regen for 4 turns. It's at 20% health. Hit it with a beam, and I pinned it with the beam because that was on our 5-stack for these pink spells. And then that should kill the boss. Alright, so a little sloppy to just walk out into the boss, but we were able to clear through him pretty well. Got a rare over here. Step up to here and pop Clairvoyance. There's nothing. Clairvoyance. There's a mouse up here. And that's it. I wonder if I can just kill the mouse just with the explosions and stuff. Not sure if it died or not. We'll use Clairvoyance to see. Looks like it did. Clear out that area. This netherworm mass kind of ambushed me. These are also fairly large maps, the Rhaloren camp. Let's use Clairvoyance and see what's around the corner. We've got a unique giant white rat, but that's such a weak chassis that I'm not too worried about that guy. That said, we'll clear out this normal enemy first. Although it's possible that in this level specifically, I didn't want to do that, just because those are hostile factions. So I could maybe have used the normal enemy to distract the elite, or the unique. Go up to the door here and use Clairvoyance. Nothing in here. Go up to here and use Clairvoyance. Nothing down here. Clairvoyance. Alright, and I think we're good. So let's just hit all the auto explorers to collect everything. Make sure that I've seen every tile. Take a look at our items here. We got a decent movement infusion. 16%, 15 turn cooldown. That's okay. Shatter on 20 turn cooldown. Definitely not worth it. Belt of Burglary. Nope. Move speed 25% on these boots is actually pretty cool. I don't think it's worth taking, though. 20% disarm immunity. We really don't care about that. We're not a weapon class at all. Lantern of Health is always worth looking at, but we have a better one. Alright, so again, no upgrades for us here. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to hang on to any of these runes or anything. Oh, I again forgot to pop Clairvoyance. Someone in the comments remind me to pop Clairvoyance. Alright, let's see what we've got. We've got rare and rare. And yeah, so this alchemist has summoned this golem. Looks like there's also a rare snow giant over here. That's a pretty dangerous base enemy type. But it is just a rare. Let's see if we can fight these guys both at once. Or not both at once. One at a time, the other thing. I passed one too many turns and let this guy get next to me, so we're just going to blink backwards. And then block him off with the monolith. He does not currently have Dark Whispers, so I'll hit him with that. And Cacophony. And finish him off. Step over to here, we can see that there's this guy, so let's aggro him. Dark Whispers, and we'll place this, because that can also hit around corners. He's running away. Oh no. Alright. We'll pass the turn a couple times and wait until he steps out where we can see him. So we've got Nihil at 0. Dark Whispers is applied. We got confused, but only for 7%, so I'm actually, and for 2 turns, because we have some confusion immunity stuff equipped, so that increases our resistances, and our spell save also increases our resistances. Or physical save, depending on how it applied this. Or mental save as well. Let's prophecy it. So there's a 7% chance that we don't get to take a turn, but I'm willing to save a Shatter Affliction for being able to hit more effects in order and accept that 7% chance. Now we hit 2 effects with the Shatter. And killed the guy. Probably didn't require that fight optimization there, but it's worth, again, just getting into the habit of doing stuff like that. We have drawn the aggro of this rare, and we're gonna Dark Whispers it. Get it up to only 0 Nile there. That's a little unlucky. Nile still at 0, so continuing to resist. Yeah, definitely feeling the lack of spell power still. We know there are enemies around the corners here. Let me step up to here and then Clairvoyance. Got a Dragon Pack off in the darkness here. These Drake hatchlings are pretty dangerous because they all spawn in groups of 4. Including if there's a rare in the pack. So it basically gets a bunch of free summons if there's a rare in the pack. Okay. Explored that whole area. Took out that guy, and let's use our Clairvoyance to see what else is out there. We've got another Alchemist, or the one we saw before, actually, but it's gonna deal with that. So we know the Alchemist is down here. Let me hit it with Dark Whispers. Just place this, and then I'll block it off with Void Monolith, and that's at 0 Nile. This should go up to 2, yep. Then we should have 4, and then we should get 6 with this. And then the Herald can finish clearing this little pocket. Go down here and use Clairvoyance again. Just another normal Elven Warrior. And there's a rare down through this corner. So we know there's a door over here. Let's open the door and fight this guy. And then we know that the rare enemy is down around this corner. So we're able to pull him. He pulls us, but because we blocked this tile with the Void Monolith, we don't end up right next to him, which is really nice. Up to 1 Nile stack. Let's bring him up to 3. And up to 5. Nope, still at 3. Alright. He resisted all the stacks. Now he's at 4. I'm gonna pop this for extra rifts and to try to put him to 5, but he resisted it as well. I'm going to use this teleport just to go over here and get a shield. We have been dazed. So this guy's actually pretty tough, this Demonologist. Mostly because he's resisting my Nile stacks. Yeah, still only at 5. Let me hit this to remove that stun and shoot him. Alright. Had to kill that guy the old-fashioned way again because he resisted all my stacks. Okay, we've got a rare over here. Oop, I stepped a little too far out where he could see me. But let's see, 0. Should be at 1, yep. 3. And 5. And dead. Getting the camp letter. Waiting here. Popping this. Alright, still nothing. Using clairvoyance. So the boss of this map is set. The location is set. It's always down here. We're going to have to fight 2 enemies, a mage and a warrior in this room, and then the boss is in the room right below us, and you have to move around fighting enemies as you go. But we do have some tech for that. We know there's this mage here, but I guess it must be fighting a hallucination or something. So the enemy is right down through this area, so we're going to dig, and then we can aggro the boss. Here he is, the Rhaloren Inquisitor. So this guy has Corruptor spells and a bunch of health. Let's block him off with the Void Monolith. Not resisting Nile so far, and he currently has Dark Whispers, so we can get him with that as well. Up to 1. Up to 2. Okay, so he is resisting some Nile applications. But it's still our best bet for trying to take him out. Let's hit him with Split as well. We've got 5 Nile. I'm going to pop this. You usually don't want to have the Split summon and your Herald of Oblivion at the same time. But because when an enemy is affected by Split, they take less damage. But it is also a good way to just distract them to build up to summoning the Herald. And even with the damage debuff, he has still fallen. Alright, we got the Rod of Annulment and the Skull Cleaver. So, Rod of Annulment is pretty nice because it is a tool that you can use to remove... to put the target's talent on cooldown. And that's really nice. Just a powerful charm that you can use against a bunch of enemies. Basically a free giant stun. So we'll definitely hang on to this one. Skull Cleaver is an axe that obviously we don't use. And then we'll finish clearing out these areas. I like mining through to the boss just in case something weird happens and he aggroes. You don't want to fight him at the same time as you're fighting all these little guys. Also, it's just fun. Because you have to imagine him chilling in his camp, just like, hi, I'm an angry elf guy, and then somebody just pickaxes through the wall next to him. Alright, there we go. We have defeated the Rhaloren camp, and with that, the last of the Tier 1 dungeons. I'm going to call the episode here, which is an excellent length. So, once again, if you've made it this far, of course, please feel free to leave comments and let the YouTube algorithm know how much you love my channel, and also subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time. Cheers, folks. GG.